Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Nadismanto. For today, we will learn about welding process, especially for the SMW or MMA welding. Welding is, according to the British standard 499 Part 1 welding term, a union between piece of term of at piece, redundant plastic or liquid by heat, pressure or both. So possibility energy resource is ultrasonic, electric beam, friction, electric resistance, electric arc. For the fusion weld, there are 4 essential factors for the fusion welding. 1. Fusion is achieved by melting using a heat intensity by heat source. Number 2, the welding process must be capable of remove any oxide and contamination from the joint. Number 3, atmospheric contamination must be avoided. This to make sure the melting joint is clean. Number 4, the welding joint must possess the mechanical property required by specifically by adapt. The meaning is the mechanical property of the joint have to according to the requirement, according to the weld metal, then according to the base metal. This picture is example people doing welding. This is the welder. This is the melting. This is the pipe. So the welding process, welding is regarded as the joint process which is the workpiece are in autonomy contact. So the pipe become two. One is the solid state process. Number 2 is fusion welding process. The solid state process is forging and friction. For the fusion weld process is oxyacetylene. This very old process. MMR or SMAW. MIG or GMAW. TIG or GTMW. Or maybe we can call also argon. Sub-arc or SAW. Normally we use SAW is because for the process we need fast welding, because the welding mount is big. So for the big piping, very suitable when we use SAW. Electroslug or ESW. As we can show the welding power source, dropping and constant current characteristic. We see this is the voltage, this is the ampere. For the normal operating voltage range is from 25 until 40. Then the normal ampere is from 40 to 170. So a small ampere change result in factual consistent current, example plus minus 5 ampere. And this one is length voltage variation, example 10 volt, due to the change of in arc length. For example, the welder make it high or make it down of the electrode. So this will affect. So this especially for the manual metal artwork, or we call MMR, or this one also same with the SMW. Okay. So the welding process was first developed in 19th century using by wire consumable. So this is the consumable. So assembly process in terms of requirement. So welding process MMA or SMW is very simple process, and also we call it manual weld. So the process can be used by alternative current, direct current, or direct current minus. So how to different AC, DC, or DC minus? This will affect to the how deep the penetration and how long of the welding width. The process of manual process in demand of the high skill from the welder. So that's why for the SMW, in according to ASME section 9, required for the welding qualification test. For more deep understanding, we need to learn about welding test maybe for the next video. So this one is electrode core wire covering R, the white color, seal gas. So this seal gas is the function to protection melting of the welding. This one is melting pool. This one is solidification slag. So when the welding is cool, this is easy for the remove. So for the manual metal arc welding, since this is the basic equipment, you can see this one is ampere and voltaic. This one is electrode oven. This normally the electrode. This is holding oven, or we call it also the quiver. This temperature normally about 70 degrees C. This is return cable. This is safety, welding mask, power cable, electrode holder. So when the positive, so welder will holding this one by right hand side. This one is inverter. So welding control is welder control is for the arc length, arc electrode, and travel speed. This means travel speed is how speed the welder to complete one joint. Normally is millimeter per second. Okay, the MM welding plant is transformer. Transformer is change means supply voltage to the voltage suitable for the welding. There is no move part is oven, thermic static plant. Rectifier change is AC to DC, alternative current to the direct current can be mechanical or statically achieved. Generator to produce welding current. Inverter. Inverter changing the DC, AC, or high frequency. Voltage is in MMA process measure also when we measure the voltage have to as close as to the resource. ECV is open circuit voltage. So this one around 70 and 90 voltage. For the current will be used to determine by choice of the electrode. So normally more bigger uh, diameter electrode and more deep penetration, current will increase. Polarity. So polarity generated determined by operation of electrode type of DC direct current or DC electrode on the positive. This is the for the main electrode covering by using for MMR or SMW. So choice this welding is because of the depend on the hydrogen content. So for the rutile normally used for the general purpose. For the general. For the basic, for the basic is low hydrogen content. So basic electrode is more expensive because can eliminate crack, maybe cold cracking or hot cracking during the welding. Cellulose, this function is for the deep penetration. So for the rutile and cellulose, hydrogen content more higher than basic electrode. Welding equipment. So visual check should make on the equipment to make sure in the good working. The electrode also need to check according to the specification applicable for the basic electrode. So the bike is about 350 degrees C, need to holding 150, then quiver is 70. So this quiver welder will bring during welding. So for the cellulose and rutile electrode, they're not required for baking, but need to dry. Obviously, open circuit voltage. This is to check should be made to ensure the equipment can be produced of the ACV current and polarity. So a check should be ensure the current type and rank is detailed according to the WPS. WPS is welding procedure specification. So when we learning welding inspection or welding engineer, we will more deep understanding about the welding procedure specification. So before welding process, WPS must get approval. So we have to run PQR, then we can make it WPS. For the other variables, so we make correct electrode angle, R gap and travel speed. So what is the advantage and disadvantage of the SMMR or SMAW? So the advantage is fill and sub use, rank of consumable, all up position, we can use for the all position. Portable, we can bring to any way, simple equipment. But disadvantage is because of the manual welding, so the result of the welding very much depend on the skill of the welder. So low operation factor, high level for foam. Foam is smoke, hydrogen control, flux, and stop touch problem. So when they after welding running, when they stop, then the start continue again. So this is need to check. Any question? Thank you very much. Maybe that's all the video. Hopefully this one can use for everyone. Thank you very much. Good afternoon. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.